¿Qué tal? Muy buenas tardes tengan todos ustedes en pues lunes de la tercera semana de actividades del Programa Nacional de Inglés, que a través de esta plataforma y a través de esta jornada nacional virtual en tema de la metodología en la enseñanza, pues ya hemos avanzado las 2/3 partes de la programación. No obstante, que es importante recalcar, que esta plataforma va a seguir abierta hasta el 21 de agosto para que quienes por diversas circunstancias en sus tiempos no puedan realizar todas las actividades en las 3 semanas previamente programadas, tengan 2 semanas más para poder continuar y completar todas estas actividades. Pues bien, esta tercera semana tiene un enfoque distinto a lo que venimos trabajando en las 2 semanas previas. Primero avanzamos conociendo plan y programa de estudios, conociendo el enfoque pedagógico de la asignatura que maneja la Secretaría de Educación Pública, conociendo los documentos. Después empezamos a abordar en una segunda semana, pues, acercamientos a temas metodológicos que estaban correlacionadas con la práctica y el trabajo que ustedes realizan frente a grupo, pero también, de alguna manera, pues advirtiendo que tenemos necesidades especiales que trabajar, ahora con el tema de la pandemia y cualquier otra circunstancia que de momento nos impone pues nuevas formas de organizarnos y nuevas tareas. Pues bien, esta semana vamos a trabajar muy de cerca, entre otros, con el Instituto Latinoamericano de Comunicación Educativa, que a través de su director general, el doctor Enrique Calderón Alzati, nos ha proveído de varios ponentes y de varios temas muy relevantes que les van a permitir abrir un abanico de oportunidades para ir resolviendo los temas metodológicos y prácticos que enfrentan en el aula día a día. Permítanme darle la bienvenida al doctor Enrique Calderón.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Pues muchísimas.
Perdón, doctor, tiene apagado el micrófono. Gracias, doctor.
Muchísimas gracias, maestro Sark. Nos da mucho gusto estar con todos ustedes, maestros. Es una gran oportunidad para nosotros el poder estar colaborando con la Secretaría de Educación Pública y de manera particular con la Subsecretaría de Educación Básica en este programa de CEPA Inglés, y quisiera aprovechar la oportunidad de comentarles que además del programa de CEPA Inglés, nosotros estamos actualmente ofreciéndoles una amplia gama de cursos a todos los maestros. Yo en especial he estado dando un curso sobre el cerebro, que lo tenemos para maestros de primaria, de secundaria, de bachillerato y también para educación inicial. Y bueno, pues este es uno de los temas que nos gustaría mucho aprovechar esta oportunidad para invitarles a participar en estos cursos cortos con una duración de una semana, que ya han tenido una muy, muy buena aceptación, especialmente por parte de los maestros de educación y las maestras de educación básica y de educación inicial. Y bueno, en la medida que el tema que nos reúne hoy es sobre la enseñanza del inglés a todos los niños de México, pues quiero yo dejarles también la palabra a mis colaboradoras del programa CEPA Inglés. Espero que este webinar sea de interés para todos ustedes. Muchas gracias.
Well, thank you, Dr. Calderon. Okay.
I think we're ready, right?
Yes.
Are you watching my screen? I don't know if you're watching my screen. Can you?
Not yet, but we can present ourselves. Now,
Yeah.
it's ready. Yes.
Are you watching?
Yes.
So welcome everyone to this workshop. Today we're gonna have session 1 and session 2. Applying the new approaches that the students need and mobile and web apps for English classes, developing reading, writing, listening, and speaking through apps. My name is Nelly Marina, and today we have Yolo Figueroa. Hi, Yolo. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
If we could talk about a little bit our background, what can you tell us?
Well, I studied international relations in National Autonomous University of Mexico, and for several years, I have supported teachers, organizations, and students in their efforts for digital education. And right now, we are working for the Latin American Institute of Educational Communication. And well, I will put everything, my heart, my skills for you in this course.
Thank you so much, Joel. Well, my name is Nelly Marina. I'm a journalist. I have a master's degree in education, and I am a PhD candidate, and I am studying digital culture right now. So let's start working together. And Dr. Calderon has already talked about this. So let me show you the landscape for this sessions. On session 1, we're going to talk about applying the new didactic approaches that the students need. Let's talk about 21st century learners, citizenship plus, transmedia skills, media literacy, the Bloom's taxonomy, and we'll look at a checklist to be a great teacher in 2020, And later in session 2, everything will be together, mobile and web apps for English classes, developing reading, writing, listening, and speaking through apps. Revert, audible stories, cake, chatterpix, flipgrid, and quizzes. All that will happen today and tomorrow. We'll be looking at presentations, assessment, videos, and gamification. Especially, we'll be looking at escape rooms. That will be something interesting that we would like to share with you. Canva, Powtoon, Puzzle, Kahoot, and ThinkLink. And tomorrow, we'll also look at developing classroom management and collaborative work through apps, Padlet, Edmodo, ClassDojo, Nearpod, and Book Creator. So, based on that, let's begin. We've been giving classes during around 12, 13 years, and during all this time, we've been teaching, but I think there has been something that's about myself. There is something that I've learned through the PhD and through the master degree and everything, that it's so important to understand the context, where we are, who are our students, and how to work with them. First of all, we need to understand the context, knowing that we have 21st century learners. Then after that, we'll talk about citizenship plus. Maybe you've listened this term, digital citizenship, but not digital citizenship plus. I will talk about that, transmedia skills, media literacy, and also that's something so important to go back to basics and to review the Bloom's taxonomy. And finally, in this first session, we'll check some characteristics about ourselves. So, based on that, let's think about it. In this first part of the ILSES session, I want that you understand the context where we are. Yes, it's so important to take in consideration our curriculum, but also understand the context of our students and understand the context of our country. Because in Mexico, we don't have only one digital culture. As we have a diversity of students, a diversity of context, we are exposed to a diversity of digital cultures like that. But even that, we need to know that our 21st century learners need to develop collaboration and leadership. What are you doing to develop that kind of skill? Critical thinking and problem solving. Just think about it. What are you doing? Creativity and innovation, social responsibility and cultural, global, and environmental awareness, communication, digital literacy, and what about the lifelong learning? And the transferable skills. That's something so important that we would like to comment today. So, first of all, let's understand that we have 21st century learners. Based on that, I want to show you this video to think about digital citizens. So let's watch it and we continue talking in a second.
Play an awesome puzzle game or watch a soccer team. So we, the digital citizens, with our hands up in the air, pledge to travel safely when we click from here to there. If you want to see the world, you don't always need a plane, a giant yellow school bus, or a noisy train. You just need the internet and something with a screen to see a different country or a pretty ocean scene. If you've ever seen a sloth or a pickup anti-zoo, just go online and check them out. Remember what to do. Always ask a grown-up before you go online. It's good to set a limit and keep track of your time. That's right. Keep your info private, like your name and your address. And always find a grown-up if you're scared or you're stressed. If you want to see the world, you don't always need a plane, a giant yellow school bus, or a noisy train. You just need the internet and something with a screen to play an awesome puzzle game or watch a soccer team. So go online and check them out. Remember what to do, to do, to do, to do. Always pause and think when visiting a site. Only talk to friends you know and never start a fight. Okay. It's fun to have a screen to laugh and play with friends, but if it's nice, go outside and find the rainbow's end. If you want to see the world, you don't always need a plane, a giant yellow school bus, or a noisy train. You just need the internet and something with a screen to be a part of something great, whatever you can dream. Remember that you took this pledge to be your best online. So stick with the Dig Citizens. And together, you will shine.
I get excited every time that I watch this video because I think about my students and about everything that is around them. So, if you're asking who created these kind of videos, there is Common Sense. It's a non-profit organization that is in charge of empowering kids to know digital citizenship and to know all that digital world. So just get prepared for that. They have many activities designed for teachers. Now, I've been reading some of the comments that appear in YouTube, and you're saying, oh, well, the problem is the internet. Yeah. And I told you at the beginning of the session that in Mexico, we live a diversity of digital cultures. So today, we're going to show how to use the apps with internet and without internet. Because maybe if you're here, it's because you have the internet and you can download some material and later use it with your students. Or maybe just share it by email. Well, we will talk about that later. And now, someone said in YouTube, oh, well, maybe the parents are not worried about this. Oh, well, that are the skills that the students need to develop. And to develop that kind of career, we need to get worried about learning and innovation, information, media and technology skills, and life and career skills. So that's why we need to be worried about that. I will show you what's the international point of view about this with many organizations, but that's so far. What are we doing in our classroom? I've been giving classes, I told you, English classes and Spanish classes. It's a mixture there. And all the time that I'm giving classes, I think about it. Because I'm not just following the curriculum. I need to think about the skills and the lifelong learning. But talking about this, what we watched in the video was about digital citizens. Now, Berkeley Klein Center, and we're talking about Harvard, they have a special study. They have a special center to study all these topics. And this is a new term. I've been studying digital citizenship plus since 3 months ago, because that's a new term and you are on the last innovations, as I told you at the beginning. So they are proposing that we say digital citizenship plus. What does it mean? That we are taking in consideration participation, engagement, empowerment, and well-being. All that need to be taken in consideration when we are in our classes. We don't need to cover all of them at the same time, but yeah, we need to show them how to participate academically, socially, ethically, politically, economically. Yeah, and everything is in these 17 areas. What does it mean? That we need to get prepared to develop and to tell them about digital access, content production, security law, because they are developing all that skills. Digital citizenship means that you have developed or you are on the way to develop all these kind of skills, and you need to have criteria to develop critical thinking. Example, information quality. You need to decide where you are, to decide what's privacy and reputation, identity exploration, information. All these need to be taken in consideration for digital citizenship plus. So let's get prepared not to say they are just digital citizens. No, they are digital citizenship. They are developing digital citizenship plus. So take all that in consideration. And I told you that I was going to tell you what's going on all around the world. Well, there are many institutions worried about this, international organizations, not governmental organizations, thinking about all these characteristics of the digital citizenship plus. But none of them, if you see, we have here UNESCO, World Bank, we have also Media Smarts from different countries, Canada, United States, Spain. We have many, and also government here, it is included, thinking about this, but not all of them. Each color represents one of the skills, but none of them has been working with all of them at the same time. Imagine, these are international institutions. What are we doing, or what can we do in our classroom? Maybe I cannot develop all of them, or I cannot be worried about all of them, but I can develop 3, 4, maybe just for this week only one, and that's enough, and you don't need more. But how many can you include? Because they are linked between themselves. So think about that. Also, there is another important term here. After this first session, you will have a new terms dictionary, so little, but I think it's very important to talk about the digital citizenship plus, and also transmedia literacy. What do we have to do? We need to create worlds in our class. That's the key point, to create worlds in our classroom. What are we going to do to make that? Why? Because we have to think about transmedia literacy. What does it mean? That we started from literacy, only reading and writing. We went to media literacy, that's multimodal with all visual and digital and printed media supports. And now we are in the transmedia literacy multimodal with digital networks, interactive media, and transmedia. And we don't have consumers, we have prosumers. Maybe that's a new term that you haven't listened a lot, but what's a prosumer? Someone who produces and consumes. That means prosumer. So let's get prepared and think that you don't have consumers of information, you have prosumers. And what do you have to do to help them to live that part, to make something so good for education? So just think about this. Who wrote about this? Carlos Scolari. He's from Argentina. He studied communication, and he has already started to link communication and education. And we have these kind of terms. If you want to look for it, it's called the White Book, and you will find this. This is golden for me. golden material for me, because here we have all that transmedia literacy, or all that transmedia skills that the students have developed. You don't need to do anything. At this moment, these kind of skills are developed by themselves. Now, use them. Now you know that you have 21st century skills learners. You have Digital Citizenship Plus that is being developed. And you have prosumers that have developed all these skills through informal learning. Now, the challenge is to bring all that in our classes. Yeah, I know there's a problem with the internet. So we need to think how to develop it, okay? And we will tell you about that. Now, a great teacher in 2020 leads students to learning by doing. They are prosumers, they are not consumers. They are students able to solve problems. What kind of problems are you showing? We have a special session to talk about escape rooms. And that's so important. We are creating a world and they are solving a problem. Imitating and simulating, that could be part of it. How will you do it? They love playing, evaluating themselves and their classmates, and teaching. Teaching others. You're not teaching them, they can teach to others the same like them. So also it's important to talk about media literacy. What does it mean? That in all the skills that I show you from the Digital Citizenship Plus, there is one skill that we need to be so careful about that. Now we're gonna work online and sharing many materials, and maybe they will be alone consuming all that products. We need to think about media literacy. What does it mean? That they access, analyze, evaluate, create, and act. They access to the content, to the video that the teacher sent. They need to analyze what is it, what can they find, what is the author's purpose, evaluate, is it really useful for me, create something with that content, and act. Now, how can we do that? Well, let's think critically. Let's teach them to become an intelligent information consumer. Recognize a point of view. It's just a point of view. You don't need to think the same. Identify the role of media in your community. That's so important. Think about it. How is it in your community? And understand the author's purpose. So let's think about it. How will you develop all that before we send something? Who write it? Why? Who should receive the message? Does it seem real? What techniques are they using to make it real? What details are missing? How did you feel after reading it? Think about it. When you share something, lead them to that. Now, how will we do that? Well, using apps. Yeah, that's so true. But before we go to that part, we need to think, how will we develop and how will we use the Bloom's taxonomy? Yeah, we're working using Kahoot. Yeah, that's so cool. But which level are you trying to reach? Are we working only on remembering, understanding, applying, analyzing, creating? What would you like to do? That's something so important because I know that sometimes, or some teachers I've listened, we don't know what to do. Oh, well, let's use a Kahoot. Well, that's not correct. We need to think about the Bloom's taxonomy. According to my curriculum, that's something done. You don't need to do anything about that. That's something done. Now, there you have your lesson plan. What will you include in your lesson plan? In which step of your lesson plan would you like to use an app? Now, what level from the Bloom's taxonomy would you like to reach? Think about it before using an app. We'll show you how to do that. Now, we could recover this wheel. It's so important. And here, it's classified our apps and the verbs according to the level, to the correct level you can reach. It doesn't have all the apps, but you can start looking at them. And if I want to apply and I want to use and I want to make a drawing, so I need to go to, and there you can look at some apps. This will be so useful in today's and tomorrow's explanation. So just for you to take in consideration, and that's all until here. So let me see the comments here. Yeah, I know it's a lot of information at this moment. Yeah, I think it's a lot. But we need to start understanding the context. By the end, it will be important that you show the students that they are using the app and you are reaching the Bloom's taxonomy levels, but you need to show that you understand the context. Yeah, I know the diversity of digital cultures in our country, but we need to get prepared to develop the 21st century skills and to understand them, right? So before we continue, just a little recap about the differences between web and mobile apps, just to be sure that we know about it. Mobile applications. The first example that we could talk about is WhatsApp. It's something is in your cell phone. You access via App Store, you download it, update it, use it, and it has a recurrent need, regular use, and you need to show loyalty. If it's in your cell phone, just as WhatsApp, is because you use it so frequently. Now, a web app, you use it via your web browser. It's for an immediate need, occasional usage, and standard loyalty. Here we have an example about Janelli, and that's one of my favorite apps. I use it frequently, but I need to open my browser to create my material and then share it. I don't have it in my cell phone. So, before we start talking about this part of the apps, remember we are talking about the new approaches for the students and now how to use the apps. Thinking about the different skills. So we can classify the apps according to the purpose. Classroom management, academic training, and personal development. Our sessions will be focused on classroom management and academic training. Classroom management. Now that we're going to be alone working at home, how can I manage my class? Well, here we have some suggestions. And what about academic training? Yeah, but apps are not magic. We need to use them according to the Bloom's taxonomy and other criteria that we'll look at. So let's begin with this, with the apps to develop specific skills. Oh yeah, we're doing it on time. This is the end of the first session. In the first session, we were talking about the context, where we are, what are we doing, what will we do with our students, and the skills. That was the first part. Now let's go to the second one. Apps to develop specific skills. Now that you understand all that part, I would like to have a question. Are you ready with your lesson plan for the first week? Well, you don't need to answer that part, but think about this. Before including an app in your lesson plan, we need to think about Tony Vincent. Tony Vincent in 2011 created a rubric to help teachers to choose an app. What does it mean? That before deciding if I use Kahoot or if I use quizzes, I need to evaluate the importance of that app. What about the relevance, the customization, the feedback, the thinking skills, the usability, the engagement, and the sharing? Tony Vincent did this fantastic rubric. Before we start using the apps, I know that at this moment you are, come on with the apps. Well,
Okay, let's go a little bit slower. Okay.
Okay, yeah. I think I'm going
That's
a little
the
fast.
comment on the chats. They want to. They are very interesting in the topics, but they think that it's a little bit fast.
Okay, we can go slower. Okay, yes, of course. Do you want that I go a little back? I'm reading a bit messages. I'm sorry. Okay. They say, what's the name of the app and all that part. I don't know if you're listening to me.
Yes, Tony
Yeah.
Vincent is not an app.
Okay, go back. I go back. I understand where we are. Now, what about this? Choosing an app. Tony Vincent is not an app. Tony Vincent is an author. He is specialized in education, and when he was preparing his classes, he saw that apps were needed. But to choose an app, you need to have a criteria. Why? Because it's not the same to choose Kahoot than Flipgrid. Everything depends on what do you want to reach? Where do you want to go? Well, think about any app. It doesn't matter which one. Now, is it relevant for your students? Do you have customization features? Do you receive feedback or do you need to type it? Does it develop thinking skills? What about the usability? Is it easy to use it? Engagement. The students get bored about it. Sharing. Can they share what they did? Well, based on that, Tony Vincent created this rubric. Tony Vincent is not an app. Okay? He created this rubric. So, in this one, when you are choosing an app, you need to see the relevance, the customization, the feedback, the thinking skills, the usability, the engagement, and the sharing. So, there you need to think where you are. Now, after you are evaluating your app, you need to take in consideration the Bloom's taxonomy. What does it mean? Where do I want to go? I just want them to remember, well, use apps related on that level. No, I want something else. I would like to reach level 2. Understanding. Well, let's choose other apps. Applying. No, I want to go to analyzing. Oh, it's important for me. Evaluating. Or finally, creating something. Here we don't have it, but we could think about Powtoon. You are creating something. Or maybe we can think about Flipgrid. You are creating something and you are analyzing at the same time and you are evaluating. In some apps, you can have more than one levels reach. What does it mean? That you will be creating and evaluating at the same time. But we need to analyze every app. Now, until there. Any doubt? I'm looking at the comments.
Well, they're talking about the information of the slides, that where can they find that information, and well, yes, about that.
Okay, yeah. About the information, maybe we can ask Mr. Sark if we can share it, and later we can send the PPT if they like. Yeah, there's no problem. We have already talked about this. Don't forget it. And now, there we go. Now, we know the context, first of all. We know our students. We know that they've developed transmedia skills. We know that we have the Bloom's taxonomy. and that we need to reach a level when we are using an app. Based on that, now, English teachers, we have another challenge: how to relate all these with our specific skills. And there you will tell me something, Nelly, but it's impossible to work reading without writing, or it's impossible to work speaking without listening. Yeah, that's so true. But you can have your focus on one of them or on two of them. Today we have chosen some of them. I will explain you the focus, but you can find something else. This is just a proposal: how to develop specific skills using apps, through apps. So now Joel will help us with this part, and then we'll continue talking about it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, why Google is our ally? Because we have a lot of different applications that we are going to use during this course and next, that you will need Google, okay? So you can sign in Google, and you will be pretty thankful about the marvelous tools that you have there, because you don't need to fill a lot of information. You can also just in one click, you're going to log in. Okay, so Nelly, we are going to talk about Rebet. It's okay?
Yes, of course, Joel.
Okay, well, today I'm going to talk about Rebet, but before I begin with Rebet, I prepare a little recommendations about how to screen mirror in your apps, because if you want to assign lectures, or maybe you want to use it in your class, you can do it right away. Okay. Let me show my screen. Excuse me a little bit. Okay.
Stop sharing, right?
Yes, please.
Yeah, very good.
Ahora sí, vamos a cambiar de diapositiva, por favor. Today we're going to talk about Rebet. Okay, so Rebet is a great reading app. This app is a non-profit project created for kindergarten and for first, second, and third grade. And it offers you a different kind of books: an interactive connection, fun and reading practice, and the best of all is that it's for free. Okay, so let's go ahead. This is Rebet. I'm going to use my cell phone to show you. So if you get a Google account, just tap on it and that's it. And maybe it will ask you to through the parental consent. If that happens, make sure that select I consent. Now you need maybe to create a profile. If you want, you can choose a different characters here for your students or for your class. Okay, you can have the option to change the level that we have here, maybe level 3, level 4. Okay, let's use level 4. So you are going to be able to read a lot of content. Let's see different examples that you can take a look through. You can look for topics here. Go to adventure, animals, arts and crafts, community, history, holidays, science, for example. Let's pick this one, art and crafts. Okay, so in art and crafts, I'm going to select one of the books that I have here. So I can start reading with my students or without them, assign this little application. And the best of all is that they can download the book. So they are going to start reading here. So for example, if they have maybe a question about the word, they can just tap on the word and they will listen the word. For example, this one, painters, and the correct pronunciation. And you also can put here in the microphone set, be sure that you consent the use of the microphone, allow, and I'm going to read. Right now I'm not reading, that's why they're not marking my reading, but if I do, it will begin marking the reading. For example, many famous painters lived long ago. They paint in ways that made them happy. Pierre-Auguste Renoir paintings that made him happy. And that's it. It will mark the reading, and with this little button here, they are going to start to talk, and they are going to start to talk about the lecture. As you can see, it's pretty easy to use. We have here the little bit arrows, and they get a timer here. So I'm going to go back to my home, and it will show me a cute message about that I'm okay with the reading. This is important because we are talking about that we don't have a lot of resources regarding the internet connection. So you can download the different kind of books, and you can also change the level that you have. It has a different languages, so if you want to do it, you want to change it, it's that okay. So this is Rivet. It's a very complex, very awesome applications, and you can also look for something. For example, I don't know, sports. And you can mark it and look for it. So this is Rivet. It's a very beautiful and easy app to find it. Where do you find Rivet? You find Rivet in your Play Store, or maybe if you use your iPhone, you can find it in App Store. You just look Rivet, and that's it. Well, that is all for Rivet, Nelly. So I don't know if you have any comments about it.
Yeah. Let's go back a little bit to the presentation. May I go back?
Of course.
There I go.
Vamos a regresar a la presentación, por favor.
Here. Now, Joe has told us how to use it, the how, but we don't know how can we decide the purpose? What skill will we develop? Well, this is focused on reading, but maybe you can practice a little bit of listening if someone else is reading the story. Now, what happens if I don't have internet? Well, Rivet doesn't, you cannot have, or you cannot use Rivet without internet, but we can be so intelligent to do something. Don't tell Rivet, but you can take a screenshot about the stories, download the images, and you can send them by email. They won't be working with the app, but they will have the material. Don't tell anyone. But our country needs this kind of solutions. Okay? Yeah, I know. No, because in my city we don't have internet and they have troubles about it. Well, we can start thinking about taking screenshots. Maybe you will say, oh, Nelly, you're stealing the content. Yes, but my country needs that at this moment. Okay? Or they need to create an app that you don't need to use internet. For example, with this one, we can solve it on this way. Think about new alternatives. Now, there is a difference between how to use it. We can have extensive or intensive reading. You can use a Rivet for both of them. What does it mean? Extensive reading, you can read just for fun. You can read just to get an idea, and tomorrow you tell me what was the story about. What did you like about it? For intensive reading, I will give you 3 questions and you need to find specific information. Here, you can find readings for teenagers, or you can find contents for 5, 6, 7, 8 years old students. We're thinking about elementary school. You can find for everyone. Everything depends on the level that you choose, and everything depends on the purpose that you are reaching. That's all, Joe.
Okay, that's just great. Okay, well, we are going to see right now a very beautiful app that I really like. It is very good and it's a very interactive app for English. I'm going to share it right now. Ready. Okay, estamos listos para compartir. Okay, so this is cake, okay? I'm not going to open from the beginning. You're going to see it right now. The name of the app is Cake. Cake like a cake. It is a short English conversation videos that each expression, okay? As many times as they need, okay? It is totally free as Rivet, totally free. And it's pretty simple to use. Just go to your App Store or your Play Store, look for the app, download the app, and you can open the app and you will find a very different kind of videos. But it is important to me to choose this one, maybe not this one, and for a specific purpose, but I'm going to play this one because it's already loaded. Okay, just choose a video, playing it, and you will see.
Nothing. It's not a cigarette. It wasn't a cigarette. It wasn't anything.
You're smoking.
I'm not.
Let me smell your breath.
No.
But that's why you came back to the car. But that's why you came back to the car. But that's why you came back to the car when you sat with the window down. Get off that! Give me that now!
Get off.
Give me that cigarette! I can't believe that. Give me that, Morgan.
Okay.
What are you doing?
What are you doing with the cigarette?
As you
what
can
are you doing with the
see
cigarette?
here, you have the script of the video, okay? And it will repeat the script of the video, and you can practice the speaking. For example, in this moment, I'm going to practice this speaking. So that's why you came back to the car. And it has a voice recognition that tells you if you are in which level you are. For example, I'm here on level A, and you can also have this different challenge that you can use, okay? So I'm going to go back. This is the home screen. And in the home screen, you're going to have different suggestions about videos, okay? So you can look for different videos here. You can look for different topics about it. And if you press here and look and buscar, you're going to find different kind of levels, categories. And here in Speak, you have the levels, you have the categories, and you have different type of courses. For example, if I look for present simple, I can find a lot of different videos that you can use in your class. Depending on your lessons, you can talk about habits and routines, fixed arrangements, for example, or different kind of videos. It has a lot of content. In Speak, the students can have the different categories, even though casual English, natural expressions, vocabulary. They have channels, for example, the BBC channel. For us, it's pretty useful because we work with the BBC program in Zapanglas Online. And we have some different kind of examples. You just choose a video and it will play. So, in resume, it is a very powerful app for your class, and that is all for Cake. So I don't know if you want to add something, Nelly, or we have some commentaries, questions?
Just about cake, we could use it for listening, speaking, and reading. We are not just developing one skill. Maybe you can use it for the three of them. Okay, just that. We can go with the next one.
Okay, perfect. Well, the next one is Audible. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to share my screen in Audible, but let me open this one. Okay. Oh my God. I'm going to interrupt your screen. I'm sorry. Here is it. Okay. This app is Audible. Audible is for listen audiobooks, okay? As we know, reading and listening is very important. And it could be very helpful to enrich the vocabulary and improve the speech recognition, the imagination, and a lot of skills. So we have here Audible. Audible is an app who have audiobooks. Each book has an audio version that help recognize the proper pronunciation. And during this quarantine, Audible leave a lot of content for free. Yes, for free. And it also has a paid version. But well, let's find out how to enter in our free quarantine version. So we are going to have here Audible, and we are going to click on this correct link, okay? The correct link to go to the free version of Audible is stories.audible.com/discovery. Okay, so once you are here, you can feel free to scroll in the page and look for something that you are going to need, or maybe that your students are going to need for your class, okay? So you can choose one. I'm going to choose one of these. Okay, this one. And you are going to be able to see the preview, okay? Click on it, and you're going to start to listen. It is pretty simple. Okay, this one is in French, but we can find a lot of different contents in English and also in Spanish. And it has different lectures here and categories, for example, elementary, for different kind of kids that you have, and levels, classifications. We have also little listeners. You can select a book, but maybe instead of clicking it, you can click on these three little points here, and we can read the synopsis. You can take a short picture about the topic, or maybe the age that they have, or even the review of other users, okay? So we are going to make an exercise with you to make an example about listening, okay? It's going to be a little bit difficult, but just listen and answer the questions. I'm going to stop sharing right now. Voy a parar de compartir en este momento. Y voy a poner un audio. I'm going to put an audio here. And I'm going to tell you when I'm going to share my screen again, okay? Okay. Just give me a second. That happens with the technology. When you are maybe doing some things, you need some time, and you need to be maybe calm.
May I tell them something in the meantime?
Of course.
Okay. Looking at your questions. Which one is free? All of them. We've been working at ILSEF.
Sister on the bank. End of having nothing to do.
Oh, there's no book.
Once or twice she had peeked
I'm
into
sorry,
the
I'm
book her
sorry.
sister
I
was
put it.
reading,
Okay.
but it had no
Here
pictures or conversations
I have
in it. And what is the use
a
of a
story
book,
here,
thought
okay?
Alice, without
So
pictures or
guess
conversation?
which story is?
So
It's
she was
not this
considering
one.
in her
It's
own
not this
mind,
one.
as well as she
And
could,
who is
for the hot
reading
day
this
made
book?
her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when
So we're
suddenly
going
a
to
white rabbit with
wait
pink
for your
eyes
comments
ran
in the
close
chat.
by her.
Please, Nelly,
There
let
was
me
nothing
know
so
if in
very
the chat
remarkable
they are
in that,
guessing.
nor did Alice think
Here,
it
let's listen at this comment.
way to hear the rabbit
No
say,
was reading.
"Oh
Do
dear."
you recognize that boy? That boy?
Okay.
Any idea?
No, any idea? Who was talking? Okay, not yet. Okay. Yes, Audible is not for free, but you have this free version during the quarantine. Okay, all you need to do is go to the main page, stories.audible.com/discovery. That's where you're going to find all these new features. Yes, Alice in Wonderland. Yes, that's great. And who was talking? You find out who was talking? Nelly. Okay. No. That's a great complaint. Okay. It was
clue. It starts with an S. Yeah.
with an S. With an S.
With an
Yes. She's pretty beautiful. Scarlett Johansson. That's great. Okay. Wow. That's the kind of exercise that you can do with your students. Okay. So use Audible. It's pretty good for listeners, for reading also. And you have all about Audible. I don't know if you want to add something else, Molly.
Well, there is a very important question here. Can we find the script?
The scripts. Okay. Yes, you can. Okay, I don't know if I can share my screen again. I'm going to share my screen. Dun, dun, dun. This is not as easy as you could maybe think about sharing a screen and everything. Okay, we have here the synopsis. You can listen the show and you can discover different kind of parts. And I get a little bit problem with my screws. And you can choose the chapter, okay? Here you can't do it, but there is another app
Chapter
that
3,
is for
a
free
caucus race.
that you have in EWA, the EWA application. So I'm going to stop share screen. Okay, EWA application, it's a very good application. It's not for free too, but it has a free version in their page, and they have the script of the books.
Let me tell you why we chose Audible Stories. Because if you want to focus your learning on listening, this is the perfect app. Because you just need, may I share my screen? Okay, thank you. I'm going there. If you want to work on listening, this is the perfect app. Why? Because you need to listen the story individually, previously, and then you will look at different chapters. You can choose one chapter per week, per session. I don't know, you decide that kind of part. But if you want an app for listening, this is the ones, and you will have everything here. And Scarlett Johansson too, famous.
Okay, I see some question here about an application that you use to interact with the kids and to complete the work for the poor skills. Okay, it's a good question here. I don't know if you want to answer. there's a lot of apps, and we are going to see that apps during the course.
Yes, exactly. That could be my answer at this moment. Let's look at all the ones we have, and now we've decided to choose some skills for some specific apps. But if you see that you can add another skill that we are not mentioning, you can do it. Okay? Everything depends on that.
Okay, this how can an app promote collaboration and interaction between the students? An app for themselves can't do that. You have to do it with your students. You have to apply all the things that Nelly told us at the beginning of this webinar, and you have to promote that interaction between your students. Okay. Well, I think that we are ready to go with shared pics, right?
May I explain the part of teaching speaking?
Of course. Go ahead.
So let me go back to this. I will share my screen, raising my hand. Yeah, there I go. Yeah, we're going on this way. Let me just double check that we've already talked about this. Yeah, this is done.
Yes.
This is done. Here we go. Now, someone asked on the chat, what about teaching the speaking skills without looking at the students? Well, first of all, let's remember something. We have receptive skills and productive skills. Receptive skills, we're thinking about listening and reading. Productive skills, you produce the language, you are thinking about speaking and writing. Now, for listening and speaking, it's oral communication. And for reading and writing, written communication. Now, thinking about speaking, we can have controlled and uncontrolled speaking activities. Uncontrolled speaking activities, they are free. They can talk about whatever they want. Well, you have some questions, but they can answer on a free way. But about controlled speaking activities, when you are on the process about learning, let me show you this. You know about this, the fluency ramp. Well, we take students from accuracy. It's my favorite part. We take students from accuracy to practice automaticity, practice, and fluency. Well, we have apps for accuracy and we have apps for fluency. We can take students from controlled speaking activities to uncontrolled speaking activities. Now, we need to show you the apps, but now that you know the context, you know the skills you can develop, you know the skills they've developed individually in the informal learning, and you know that you have the Tony Vincent rubric and you have your curriculum and everything done, and you will decide which level of the Bloom's taxonomy you would like to develop. Let's see if you are on the accuracy side or you are on the fluency side. We have apps for both of them. Okay, so let's think about Chatterpix.
Great. Okay, let's go with Chatterpix. I'm going to share again my screen. Voy a compartir mi pantalla nuevamente. We are going to go to Chatterpix, okay? Well, Chatterpix is an app to convert pictures or inanimate objects into an image that they can talk, okay? So this is the app, Chatterpix.
Moose.
So how you can use Chatterpix in your classroom?
Welcome to Chatterpix.
Let's see first how it works, okay? You have to look for the app in Play Store or maybe in an app store. You look for Chatterpix or ChatterKits, okay? So all you need to do is open the app, take a picture. I'm going to take a picture here, not for me, about this little fellow that I have here. Smile little dinosaur. Okay. And then you need to choose the mouth. This is going to be the mouth. Okay, you can take a picture of a toy or a draw. Okay.
Record
or
in
any
3,
publication. You can
2,
press in record
1,
and
go.
you can use a dinosaur or a toy or a different things that you have in your own gallery. And then you get to record the message and save it. Okay, I'm going to put play here. You can use a dinosaur or a toy or a different things that you have in your own gallery. Okay, and that's my message. I'm ready to click on next, and if I want, I can put a filter on it or leave it like that. Use a sticker if I want, maybe, or not. If I don't want to use the sticker, but maybe I want to put something funny for my dinosaur, like a big eye, and I can use a frame if I want it. If I don't, it's okay. And you can put also information here. Okay, and it will show you right away. You click on next and you can save and export to your camera roll. You can share this by WhatsApp, for example, for your students if you want to give some instructions, or the students can take a picture of their work. You ask them to use cherry picks to explain something important about, I don't know, many kind of things, okay? So I think I have here some example, but you can use it like that. Okay, so this is a very good application that we have here. The name is Cherry Picks. What's your opinion about it? And only if you can please help me to read about the apps in the chat, please.
Yes, of course. I saw a very interesting question from Rebecca. She's asking, can we have an app to have control on what the students see? And is it possible that we look at that? Something like that. Is that question? Yeah, we have an app that is specifically done for that. Where maybe you're talking about classroom management. Yes, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, we'll have an answer for that. They are asking if Cake is a free app.
Yes, it's for free.
Yeah, it's for free. And okay, I think that are the main questions. Really motivating. It's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, for positive comments. You know, how can we use it in the class? Maybe that would be your question. Is this control or uncontrolled or what's going on? Well,
I have an example here, Nelly. If you let me, ¿puedo compartir pantalla nuevamente, porfa? Al equipo de soporte. Gracias. Thank you. I have here a pretty example about Kimberly that use a polar bear to talk about some information. Okay,
Eat seals. They have thick fur. Adults weigh 1,000 pounds. Cubs drink their mother milk.
Okay, that's it. Okay, we finished the video.
Okay, so you can ask the students to make a drawing about something about the reading from Rivet. I'm just linking the apps, right? You can start with the reading, then you can ask them 5 questions, intensive reading, and after that you practice speaking with a question, and they need to make their drawing. Don't think that you have to do everything in one class. Maybe that could be the project of a whole over 2 weeks of the month. I don't know, you decide that part. But you can link everything to your curriculum. You know, you were asking if you can manage the apps according to your contents. Yes, of course. this is just a tool. You decide how to use it, when and where. Yeah, you're completely free about it. Okay, this was Chatterpix. May I talk about Flipgrid, y'all? Yep.
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Go
ahead with Flipgrid.
Let me show you my screen.
Flipgrid is a very great application. I don't know if you already listened about Flip Classroom. It's a website to allows you to create grids to make video topics or discussions, and each grid is like a message board.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me show you. To practice listening and speaking and thinking about developing 21st century skills, especially critical thinking. And I'm just getting the image of the Bloom's taxonomy in evaluating level. You can use Flipgrid. You know, we are mixing everything. We have a context. Maybe you will say, Nelly, you have already said that. Yes, but I want that you have the whole image, because we have students that are developing 21st century skills. They have transmedia skills developed in the informal learning. We are choosing an app according to Tony Vincent, and we are trying to reach one of the levels from the Bloom's taxonomy. So I am mixing everything, and I am leading you to know Flipgrid. Flipgrid, I use it in a second, but I want to show you my images, because you can create a grid, and in that grid, you can establish your activity. Here I have some examples. I've established some grids, some topics. I had a reading out loud activity where students were reading a story from Rivet. They were reading,
for example.
Yes. They were reading out loud the story they chose, and I could look at their pronunciation. I grade them, and they receive. They felt so good. Now, here we need to be so careful. I love this app because of this. I teach in junior high school level. So I work every day with teenagers. And sometimes they are scared about cameras. And they don't want to show their faces. And they say, oh no, miss, but I don't want to show my face. Don't worry, Flipgrid is with you. Because, and that's because of them, and because I have teens, and that's so useful for them, for their special needs at this moment, at this age, but also because of security reasons, and we need to talk about that too. Because if we're playing a Kahoot, you can make a name, invent a name, or something like that. You can be Superman and nothing happens, right? But in these applications where you need to, in these apps, where you need to use video, and they know, and we need to get worried about security, this is the perfect app for that, because they can cover their faces with some emojis. And that's why I'm showing you this. Well, you see the name of the girl, but it's a Maria, and any Maria you can have, or any Fabricio you can have, but you don't see their faces. So if parents are worried about this, and if they're worried about this, what's going on with the faces of my students? They will be everywhere. Well, they can cover themselves, and that is something very important. But what can we do? Let me switch my screen. Here I have it.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet. I think that you need to share all your screen.
Oh, okay. And stop sharing, and I share it. Let me go. Share screen again. There we will go. Yeah. Are you looking at my grids? Can you tell me? Are you looking at them? Lol, are you listening?
Yes.
Okay.
I was reading the comments.
So you need to go to flipgrid.com. You sign in with your Google account, and then you will have this. These are my grades. Something I've already created with my students. I want a new one. I need to go to add a new grid. You name it. You need to choose how do you want that your students join to your grid, with your school email, with a student ID, or if you belong to a community, my advice is that you use your school email and you share this part, this link, and you go next. And here you need to write, for example, if I am waiting for students from Ilse, here I need to add that. Or if you decide that it is like this, you need to show which kind of emails you will be receiving. And then you go with next. And I created my grid. You can match it, you can link it, you can join it to Teams, or you can link it to Classroom. And you go to your grid, and here is it. Here, I've already created my grid. Now, this is a new one. I want to show you one of my grids. I won't play them because of the reasons of security about my students, but I can show you this. Reading out loud. And here I have 6 videos. And here you can find the things they've already uploaded. What can you find here? You establish a task. Example, I need that you discuss about, I don't know, what's your favorite food? Is it better to eat pizza or vegetables? Well, that's your task. Now, every student will upload their opinion. That's a kind of activity. Example number 1, you establish a topic, you establish the discussion, the debate, and they start uploading their opinion about it. And you will have all your discussion recorded there without showing your face, or showing it as you wish or as they wish. That's one part. Another part, I use it a lot for reading out loud or reading poetry. So the task is choose your favorite poem and read it for the class. And you can see the students reading their poems so happily. And they can record it as many times as they want and finally upload the best one. So if you want to practice reading, a little bit of speaking, this is a very good app because you have everything here. And the best is that you have a rubric. Let me show you. I will stop sharing at this moment so you can see the other part that I want to show. I will stop here, and now I will share my PowerPoint. There I go. Here. This is what I wanted to show you. When you are grading your students one by one, here you have a grading rubric. What does it mean? Here in the first one, I didn't write a grade, or I didn't grade it. But for the second one, the ideas of my kid were perfect, so I gave him 5 points. And the performance, it was excellent. And I just wrote a little comment, no, excellent job, guy. Well, this is part of it. What can you do with it? Whatever you want. Which level would you like to reach? Think about it. What kind of informal learning skills are you using here? They love, well, I'm thinking about teenagers at this moment, but they love TikTok and all that kind of apps. So you can use them. You can use that skill that they've developed using Flipgrid. What kind of activity you decide. And about the age, I haven't read the questions, but maybe there's something related to this.
Go ahead. The questions is regarding to different aspects about what's the name of the apps, and other apps, Rivet and Cake, that they're interesting, a good comments, very good comments, and that they have hungry, and that's it.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So you can do it with small kids, elementary students, or with junior high. You decide how to do it. You decide the task, okay? And you can use any other of our apps at this moment. So let's go with the next one. Oh, this is very important. I am so worried about my speaking activities. I don't know what to do. Well, you can establish and also use it with Chatterpix or with Flipgrid, photographic competition, a role play, read a description. You can give them a script and they can represent, they can act as one of the characters. They can also pretend a portrait interview. Here you are looking at some pieces of art and they can pretend that they are interviewing to the characters that they are looking at. Also, you can have information gap activities. You give to speakers different kind of information and they need to link that information in a speaking activity. You can make them tell stories, talk about their favorite objects, and this is very interesting. Famous people giving a gift. Imagine that this is, you will tell them, Scarlett Johansson's birthday, and you need to give her a present, a Mexican present. Well, they can upload a Flipgrid giving the answer to that task. Maybe Scarlett Johansson was not a very good example, but you can say, what could you give to Luisito Comunica for his next travel? Well, they need to decide which is the best one. You can establish a moral dilemma, and also you can ask them to make a presentation with a specific purpose. Maybe they can show you the result of our experiment. Everything can be done with the Flipgrid or with Chatterpix for control and uncontrolled speaking activities. Some of them will be controlled because you guide them and you know what they don't have a lot to say about it because we're looking at accuracy. But uncontrolled speaking activities, they can feel free about it. Okay? So now let's go with the next one. Think about, at the beginning I told you we should create worlds in our classroom. We can create a zoo, we can create a party, everything, right? But we need to identify the goals and objectives of our class. Define what is really available for our users. Don't overcomplicate the experience, please, because sometimes, and that happened to me at the beginning when I started using apps, I wanted to make everything at the same time, but that's not possible. Sometimes start with the easiest part. Just use one app. We are showing many of them. Just use one. Think that less is more. Educate your user on what you are trying to do. Here I would like to share an experience about my teenagers, students. At the beginning of the last school year, first I had a project using Canva, an app for presentations. Then I had another project using Bisme, another project using Bangish, different kind of apps related to presentations. And with the last project, I told them, now that you know all that kind of apps, I will tell you which one you can use. You decide according to the needs of your project. And then individually or in groups, everything depended on the activity. They were choosing their own app according to their own desires, according to their own objectives, according to what they did. But that is the last step. And that made me feel so happy. But I'd educate the users on what I was going to do. Make sharing easy and fun, and remember you are using emotions. That's so important. Maybe it's just a Kahoot. Well, it's a Kahoot. They are playing, and that will maybe that will affect their state of mind during all day. You won't be there, but we're using emotions, and you will have that guy so happy during all the class, or maybe not. Maybe you will have someone frustrated about that. Well, we need to establish that it is a game and that we lose, and it doesn't matter because tomorrow we'll play again. You can try it again. So our class can become a game show classroom. That would be something great. And for that, maybe we could talk about quizzes. Can we play quizzes, Joe? May I go?
We are on time, just on time. So yes, I'm going to play one of my quizzes that I have here, and I'm not going to share it right now on my screen because you're going to see. And this platform only allows 500 students, but we are more than 500. So I'm going to go there to my my cell phone. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Ahora sí, voy a compartir, por favor. Give me just a second. I have to connect again my... Yes, go on, Nelly, go ahead.
Okay, let me tell you something. You're saying that you have a lot of students, and I love that question that what's the Kahoot? Well, first, about the 45 students. You can play a Kahoot with them, with all of them, because you can have 50 in one. If not, you can tell them, today, 10 students will use this app. Tomorrow, other 10 students, because they need to see that we're trying to use it. Maybe you cannot have all your class in the app, as we're doing it at this moment. We're 1,000 teachers.
Yes.
We won't be able to do that. But some of them will play. Now, what is Kahoot? Kahoot is another app that we'll look at tomorrow. It's an app for gamification activities. And there is a big discussion about which one is better, Kahoot or quizzes. Today, we are looking at quizzes. We won't tell you this is better because you need to know tomorrow the other one.
Exactly.
And after that, you will tell us, I think this one. Let me tell you, Joel and me will be working too much about this. And one of us prefer Kahoot, and the other one of us prefers quizzes. We won't tell you who, but you need to know both of them. Okay?
Okay, that's right. Yes, well, my full name is Joel, but everyone and Elsa Stepanglas Online knows me as Joel. So let's go ahead. Estoy lista para compartir pantalla, si no es que lo estoy haciendo ya. En este momento, I'm going to begin the quiz, okay? So this is my quiz. I am playing online, and we're waiting for other students. Oh my God, let me put that right away. Ready. So we are here, and as you can see, we are going to have different questions. For example, this, choose the corresponding picture per stage. This is for a theater class that we give, okay? And we have memes here that are pretty funny. Meaning of custom. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, that's great. Does custom mean guion? Not. But I'm going to put one of these incorrect, okay? So I'm going to use this one like an actor. As you can see, it checked me that it is incorrect, okay? And again, I'm not going to do any effort, okay? And you have power-ups, okay? As a student, you have power-ups that gives you maybe twice of the points that you have for one questions, or freeze all the students here, okay? And as the teachers, you can see what is the progress of the student while they are making this game. For example, this here we have one student here. We are going to fill in this one, and it shows me a mean. Okay. I fill, and it says slow down. And you, as a teacher, okay, I haven't used my power up, okay? When finish my game, I can use it again. So I'm going to activate to this student, okay? Stage mean a scenario. Yes. I want to power up again. Yes, 50-50. Make help these incorrect options disappear. So I'm winning to Alexis. Which element is shown here? Audience. Okay, makeup means makeup, maquillaje. And you can see all the students here like a competition here. And I can repeat a question that I felt. So I'm going to choose this one, the naming of the script. I'm going to show you the leaderboard, okay? So in the leaderboard, you can see what is the results, okay? I'm going to end this game for the webinar purposes right now, but don't worry, you can do it and you can try on it, okay? So we have here the winners, and of course, it was me in the first place. Second one, Alexis Gomez, and the third one, okay? And you can all, you can be able to see the overview, the kind of questions that it has more accuracy, for example, no? And this is pretty interesting because you can download the results. How you can download, you just click on it and it will appear as an Excel file. So that is just great, okay? Okay, so I'm going to exit from here and I'm going to go back to my dashboard, okay? Quizzes, it is a totally free resources. I know that we are showing just the fun part, but now I'm going to teach you how to use quizzes, okay? So it is a totally free resource that allows you to create quizzes about everything that you need. And a lot of teachers around the world use quizzes. So, well, you need to log in, of course, with Google, and you can go ahead. And as you can see, I have a lot of different quizzes here that I can use. So here, if I click on search for quizzes on any topic, I can find that kind of quizzes per participant. So all you need to do is put, for example, present simple. You would enter and it will show you a very many different options, okay? It's awesome because they are already done. If you don't need to click on them, you simply put the mouse on it and you can see all the different kind of questions that you have here, and you can explore it. And when you are ready to use one of these beautiful and done quiz, you just click on it and you can see if you want to play live with that one. If you want to do it like I have already done, you can assign it, okay? I'm going to click in assign, and you could maybe choose a date for the due time or your assignment and an hour. And you can continue. You can also have different classes here and change the different general settings about, for example, power-ups, the timers, show the leaderboard, shuffle questions, and of course, the memes, okay? So here you have all your different previous set of memes of different persons that upload these memes, but you can do your own, okay? So I'm going to click on continue, and you can share the link by clicking on it, and this will copy the link in your copyboard. So you can share it maybe from WhatsApp. You can share it with the parents, or you can share it in class in Google Classroom if you are using it. And you can also end the game. Okay, this is a way that you assign the quizzes that you already choose. Okay, but let's go ahead again here. And let's begin with a new one, okay? Because I want to do a new one, no one that no one's start. So I'm going to go here in create photo, and you have to put the name of the quiz, new quiz, and the subject. The subject is English, for example, here. And we have this quiz editor, okay? In this quiz editor, you have many options about questions. You can put in new questions, or you can put in Telebird. In Telebird, you can look for other quizzes, for example, and put maybe the same present sample. And you look for this one, click on it, and I will use this one. So if I want to use this question, I just put add. So great, no? And I have here the question. But if I want to create a new one, I choose the kind of questions that I am going to use. For example, multiple choice. Okay, a multiple choice, you have to write your question here. And you have your different kind of options, okay? So, of course, you need to click on the correct answer, and you can save. Also, you can change the minutes or seconds that your students will take in this question, okay? I'm going to send here, and I'm going to go to a new question. A new question about checkbox, for example, if you want that not just one correct answer. We have here another question. 1, 2, 3, and okay, 23 now. And I'm going to mark this one and this one as correct, okay? I can put the 45 seconds, or I can add media, okay? I can add media for my quizzes, for the questions, and you can add audio. This is all new, okay? It's a new feature, okay? Quizzes, remember, quizzes are free resources, okay? Nothing in quizzes is going to be, is not going to have a paid version, okay? So you're going to save it. That's right. And I have my third question here. And now I want to make and fill in the blank. It's like an open question. But here you can you can put the question here. Okay. So the students will have the answer that they have to write. But remember, when you do these type of questions, you need more than one alternative answer. So if I come start putting don't with the apostrophe, I have to do done with the accent, because this is a very common mistake of the students. So I can add alternative, different kind of questions to not and to not, and so on, so on, so on. Okay, so you get different kind of seconds here. Remember to give a little bit of more time for this kind of questions. I'm going to save it, and you also have polls. Okay, polls, as they say here, are on grade. Okay, they are marked as correct in the key report. So you are going to thinking about what's your opinion of this webinar. The teachers. I'm messed up here. Okay, what's your opinion about some topic? Okay, so you are going to have these the answers, and the answers will not be great. Okay, let's omit this one. And let's go with another kind of question. Open-end. Okay, open-end as the poll is it is a question that is on grade. Okay, so these questions are marked as correct in the game reports. So you can also put some media here, some audio, and your students will answer everything that they want. Maybe you want to write the opinion of this book. Okay. So let's go ahead. We save it. We have our quiz here. And you just need to find and finally finish your quiz, okay? So you can add a quiz image here. Put it here. You can select the grades that you are going to use. This is useful for the other people that they are using quizzes and they want to reproduce your quiz. It could be public or private if you want, and you can save it, okay? So it's done, and when it's done, you are ready to use it, okay? I'm saving. Okay, so you can go play live. Okay, if I click on play live, I get different kind of options here. You can do it in classics that the students answer at their own pace, individually, as a team. If you have maybe your class with scores that are grouped by team, or test. Okay, if you are going to use this tool as a test, okay, it's ideally that they log in. Okay, so they have to log in quizzes if you want it like that. Okay, so you can assign up your own class or different kind of classes that you have, the attempts of the students that they have, and the play settings, the timer, the shuffle questions, answers, and you can also show answers post game if you want, or just the questions. Okay, and that's it. You continue and it will give you a page and a code. Okay, I'm going to close it right away because if not, I'm going to crash down my internet. But you go to joinmyquiz.com and your student put the code in their classroom, okay? So they put it in right away and they can play it on live. So I'm going to use one of my quizzes to practice, okay? And I can play the quizzes to practice, or I can share the practice link, okay? I'm going to play it right now. You can play it. And you can play the quizzes, or you can use this important and beautiful tool that is called flashcards. Okay, so I have here the flashcards. I'm going to shuffle these flashcards. I'm going to start and I can study. Okay, so what is the meaning of costume? Oh, I'm going to flip this phrase. Okay, I got it. Okay, what is the meaning of lights? Luces. Okay, I got it. Or I need to review again. And it will shuffle the questions as a flashcards. So I would like this tool a lot, okay? And for your report, if you need your report, you can go here to the dashboard and go back to reports, okay? In reports, you'll find all the quizzes that you already play and the numbers of students that you have here. For example, this one that we already play, and we have the questions of on the overview and the standards, okay? And you can also, from here, you can download your report. Other thing that we have is the memes, okay? You can have here the memes and you can use your collection, okay? You can upload a different kind of memes here that you find it and you can work with that, okay? So you can edit, upload a correct meme and image, just fill it and it will be great. Okay, so I'm finished with quizzes because we are almost on time and I go back with you, Nelly.
Okay, let's go to the last part. It's time to say goodbye. Are you looking at my screen? Can you tell me? Yeah, you're looking at it. So, just to finish, when we are using an app, let's think about which is my topic. In which step of my class do I want to use the app? Which skills do I want to develop? Which cognitive aspect would you like to develop? How much time can I spend in the activity? And that's all. What did we do today? Today we had 2 sessions, session 1 and session 2. In the first part of it, we look at 21st century skills, citizenship plus, transmedia skills, media literacy, Bloom taxonomy, and the checklist to be a great teacher in 2020. That's the first part. In the second part, we look at specific apps to develop reading, writing, listening, and speaking. What apps did we check? Rivet, Audible Stories, Scape, Chatterpix, Flipgrid, and Quizzes. And that was all for today. So, just to finish, you asked for our emails. This is Joel's email, and this is my email, just in case you would like to tell us something, you would like to share an idea, in case you have extra questions about it, here you have our emails, and we can answer as soon as possible. Now, just to finish, we will share on the chat this little activity. You can do it at this moment or you can do it later. Just get ready for tomorrow. This is a Padlet. Tomorrow we'll know Padlet. Please write here. Let us know which was your favorite app. So you write your post, and that would be all for today. Thanks a lot for being here. Thanks a lot, Joel. Thanks for listening. We know it's a lot.
Thanks to you.
We know it's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information, but you can watch it again, okay?
You can watch it again.
Yes, you can watch it again. It is pretty good session, and I think that we abort a lot of things. But okay. Yes, okay.
Thank you so much. And
thank you.
Tomorrow.
Oh, muchas gracias a ustedes dos, Nelly, Yolo, siempre tan dinámicas, a veces sí muy entusiasmadas con el tema. Bueno, ahí a veces un poquito es difícil en tan poco tiempo darles tanta información, pero creo que pues el fin para el día de hoy se ha cumplido, es tener este acercamiento para nuestros profesores, para que tendrán muchas dudas, definitivamente. No hay soluciones para todos y cada uno de los casos en particular. Pero creo que este primer acercamiento ha sido muy bueno. Yo los invito a todos nuestros profesores a que el día de mañana vuelvan a conectarse porque nuevamente Nelly y Yolot van a estar con nosotros para retomar y secuenciar esta serie de actividades con el IRCE. Todas están relacionadas, todas están vinculadas y es parte de una serie de talleres que de manera más extensa ofrece el instituto, pero esto les puede dar una idea de las áreas de oportunidad que nos ofrece en temas de capacitación. Nelly, muchas gracias. Yolot, muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias a todos ustedes. Gracias, maestra Sark. Es un placer.
Un placer es nuestro. Muchas gracias. Y queridos, pues comunidad del Proni, creo que es lo más adecuado. Somos un conjunto de factores los que aquí participamos. Comentarles, por ahí había unas preguntas que me parece importante retomar, es quienes preguntaban qué pasa con sus resultados de quienes hicieron los exámenes a manera de diagnóstico que aplicó el IRCE, los resultados que corresponden a cada uno de ustedes de quienes en su oportunidad participaron en este diagnóstico nacional se encuentran en cada una de sus coordinaciones locales, particularmente ahí también hay una duda muy recurrente que quiénes son sus coordinadores a través del mecanismo como ustedes se dieron de alta para esta herramienta es con el cual pueden establecer comunicación con los coordinadores locales del Proni en cada una de sus entidades. Les agradezco mucho y vamos a continuar en un breve con Idolina Camargo, que pues trae unos temas muy interesantes desde otro enfoque para el tema de metodología. Gracias y hasta pronto.